So you're interested in drifting. And the problem is, the perception is how expensive it is to get into drifting. So drifting doesn't have to be expensive. You can get a police auction Crown Vic. You can get anything rear wheel drive. The most important thing is that you get out to a track and you start. We have now evolved a little bit out of that. And in fact, it is time for Russ to be safe. So that's what we're gonna do. We're going to put in a cage. We're gonna have to mark some spots in here, remove the dash, remove the headliner. He's already got the inside cleaned out. That back seat mainly moved. We're sourcing some more seats, hopefully in our G, and get him to us in time. So this is as far back as he is. He's a big guy. I think we've got his seating position okay. I'd like to rake it back a little bit because even my head's close to this. That means I'm gonna have to pull all this out so we can get the bar as close to up here as possible and away from his noggin. So we will be using the affordable bender, and in fact, I modified this to have a hydraulic powered ram on it with air, so you just press a button as opposed to having to hand pump it. But we'll be using that and a couple other tools that really, when you're doing these hand jobs like this, it'll make it easy. So I'm gonna gather up the tools that we need, and we have to get over to IMS, which is my favorite store. We're gonna get Big Russ over here. We're going to purchase the metal and get the dash pulled out. So we're making progress. We had a powwow. Russ decided that he did not want any passengers in the rear for ride along anymore. So we're making our first cuts. I don't know, ask the guy. He said that they all hit on him too much. But so we're cutting through the floorboards, getting that done. At the same time, we're dealing with that thing, which is in the other video over there, which is Maro's. Put him in. That's his new vet. So we're dropping trans over there. He's blowing trans all over the place. And we are cutting holes in Crown Vics to put cages in. We actually had to move it back an inch more than the normal one would be because he is an angry inch bigger than the normal person. So this seat's gonna come back to here, and then the bar, as you can see, it's gonna go right there. So that is where we're at. About to cut this side, that side, and I can X out measurements, drill holes to drop. Well, I'll show you I'll show you about that when it happens.
And if you haven't seen that video, I did drop a car.
So smartass over there was making a point, but I want to let you guys know we did learn our lesson. We lubed the pins, as you can see, nice and lubed. That was his truly. And I don't know what this guy's doing now. We strapped to the lift, but yes, we are dropping the trans on his car that we picked up yesterday. We did a bunch of stuff over there. It's got a couple little oil leaks, but it made a sound. We're just gonna get it down and get it rebuilt. Oh yeah, you gotta drop these tires too. But what we were doing here with Maro is the same thing we did on multiple videos of ours, because he's going through, dropping the exhaust, and he's got to get all these little sensors off of here. Emergency brake stuff from up there, some brake lines, coilovers, and upper control arms. And I was actually just running down the list here. Maro came over to me, he's like, dude, you just gave me an aneurysm. And what I forget, which I mentioned with you guys on the last video, was I've done it so many times now I just kind of move through it. But the first time, which is what he's going through right now, it is so overwhelming. It's not like any other car that you've worked on before. Trans is in the back. It's got a big thing in the middle that you got to deal with. The exhaust is all piped through in a really tight space because it's a sports car.
Especially since the only transmission I've ever dropped was on the FD car. So it's like super simple.
It was purpose
like
built to do it
30
in that time period. So yeah, this was meant to make you go back to the dealership, and every time you needed to do it, you had to give them $4 or $5 grand.
But please sponsor a Chevy.
So I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
Very painful.
So that's for this car over here. So what we're doing over here.
Take your time, Uncle Nate.
Ow. You will not be. That is not going to happen. Especially when we got this guy over here doing this thing. So here, you know what?
What?
Why don't you grab that mid pipe area? No, right here, middle. Right there, lift up a little bit. Russ.
Easy as cheddar. Rotating it might help a little too, no?
Oh, no. Tell your moms. All right, guys, so we are working on the Vic, and you saw what I was doing when I made this tool. And why I made this tool is, let me come around here so you guys can see. But in case you can't visualize and measure and you don't have all the space, you take the Romex, you mark it out. I centered it at the center mark where I want to go, and then we have 6-inch marks. You know, 1 foot, half mark is 6 inches, and we're able to match all the bend points that I have indicated with the blue tape. That's where the bend starts, so I put the die right there, and then that'll be my angle for, you know, I need to do a 60 degree, then I got a 20 degree, and it's 10 degree coming off of here, or whichever way I'm gonna do it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do 70 and 20, but I've indicated where they're at. We'll find out where they are. But it'll hold shape, and I'm able to transfer it over there, and I'm able to pull measurements off of it. So I zip tied it up so I wasn't fighting it. We've got it. We're gonna cut an extra inch below the point we need, and then we'll walk it up. We'll get these bent, transfer all these marks over to the steel we're gonna bend, and that's a quick little trick. So now I'm gonna go ahead, cut these things, take it out, transfer it over onto my tape over there that we laid down, and make sure I save the marks, and then we'll get the steel, transfer the marks to there, start bending it, and then it's getting it in here. I mean, you're gonna be right close to the pad at that point. Like, there's nowhere to sneak it past where there's gonna be 1.5 inches plus that inch pad that you're not gonna be touching the 1 inch, and then lean you back a little bit. I mean, how else are you gonna fit past this bar? We have to get your head away from
Good thing you bought that thick plate for the bracket.
the bar. Well, I'm making I have a different design for your seat, because the way this is wrong, and this is not right. It should never be like that. It's like that's passenger car mounting.
Got it.
Well, frick balls. That puts you way closer to this mount now that that seat was not in its. And are you sure it wasn't like that the whole time we've been doing this? Because look at your legs.
100%.
Your legs are different, it looks like.
Same they were. Reach onto the pedals, yeah, same angle.
So we got to go back 2 more inches, which will bring you right here, which is fine because your head is still 4 inches away from the plane of this bar. So that'll be fine there. Then we'll go down. We can go down at least 1 inch on here, if not more. And then if we rack it a little tiny bit, that'll put you in this space here. It's gonna put your head right freaking here, like that. So you'll be a little bit lower, and you'll be just enough away from here. So my question is now, so it's time to bend. We did our test piece last night, figured out that if I were to put this mark where I want the bend to actually start, at this point on the affordable bender, which I forgot, I hadn't used this for a long time actually, about maybe 1.5 years, the bend would actually start 2 inches back. So, had a test piece from Rusty Stuff, and figured that out. So now we're gonna actually get it started, and the way that I'm going to first check the angles is I got these digital things zeroed out onto here, and then we have angles on this side of the affordable bender. I'll show you the next reason why we use those levels, to keep it in plane, because as you can see, the ground is not level. You can do all of that stuff, but if you don't have that ability, which is why I have this thing, I can take it anywhere and bend anything I need, usually.
I'm going to bend what I want, when I want, who I want. I'm unstoppable!
Anyways, we're gonna get started bending it, and we're gonna go to a 80 and then a 10. So the first one is, and I'm bending from the center out to make sure that the radiuses are the same, just in case they are not. All right, so keep this to keep track of it. I normally have 2 of these. And then I just find that this is straight, like that's gonna be where I wanna find the degrees to. So I zero it out. And now, if I put it on this, ooh.
What?
Good thing. I could have sucked.
Put it on.
Remember we marked the bends?
Yeah.
Well, apparently I did not mark the right direction.
You're really good at that.
Yeah, it's just about the same length and diameter I'm used to working with.
Yeah.
Backfire, bro.
What do you mean? It just sounded like another person. What are you talking about? Ex-husband? It's good now. Everyone can see what you do.
Do it multiple times until it gets done right. Never give up. Okay, so if I remember correctly, if I wanted to start, this is where I had to put it in going this way. But we want to bend. No, I have to go that way. Okay. So this is just a Harbor Freight jack. I bought this and then adapted the affordable bender to it, which he had done as well, but with the previous model. So you can check out on our channel the conversion of this other video. The main hoop in today, and then I got this one. Well, then we redid the dash and took out all that shit, which took forever. Apparently, you have to take the dash out to get the plastic dash off, but we had already put it back in, that whole story. But anyway, so we got that out and now figured all this out, ended up bending this to the wrong mark, which put it 2 inches lower than I wanted it. But everything else is in... Everything else is relatively where I want it. I want this bend to start back 3/4 of an inch more so that it's in this notch better. Then we're way far away from your head. And then this I want up the 2 inches like I said so that it's more out of your view, but also it's closer to that bar. So I'll rebend that in the morning, should be good. If it fits, produce it over there, tack it in, and then we can throw this in. Once that's in, or I'm sorry, that in, the halo, then that in, you can get this reconnected, and then we can start cutting the plastic part to put that in so that you can get your speed cluster in. And then the only other thing before we do that, I gotta bring tabs off the bar up to this so that it's supporting your steering wheel. But all that shit is figured out. This is moved back 1.25 inches more than it was, but that's nice and straight and good. Tight like a fucking tiger right there. Just not touching there. Just the exact same not touching there and the exact same tightness over there. So, and this is gonna be super tight right there.
Tight, yeah!
This will be out of the way, and then this halo is going up into this space here. So it'll bend up and go into that and then back down, so you won't even, that won't be anywhere in your view. The only thing that'll be in your view is this one a little bit, but there's no, it's gonna be right here, right there. So it's not gonna be too much in your view, but there's no way to do that. But that's it.
Totally.
Worst cameraman ever. Sweetest big driver you'll ever meet, though.
Is that how they say thank you where you're from?